Now on the Switch 2, the game targets 60 frames per second, which immediately get really excited. It's going to be across almost the entire experience, and yes, it actually hits those targets that is set. We're talking stable frame rates even in trouble zones like Castle Royale Lake, which we know was infamous for those big FPS drops. The spot where things used to tank to almost like 20 frames, this time around, testers finally decided to test jumping off cliffs, landing in water, sprinting through rain, and a bunch of wild Pokemon in this area, and the game still held up at 60 frames per second. So, that's right, get out your party poppers, it's time to get hype. Battles also 60 frames per second. This also includes Terra Raid battles with your friends, so no more of those pesky drops. These are all going to still be 60 frames. Transitions between overworld and combat are seamless. It's not 100% locked frame rate. Of course, there are dips in the mid-50s in some of the foliage-heavy biomes, like the coastal lines of Kitakami and Blueberry Academy, but they're rare, few, far, and between, and barely noticeable. So the fact that we're in the 50s and we're pretty close to stable 60 is a big upgrade. Visuals. So let's talk about visual upgrades. So you're going to notice some of these visual upgrades immediately. Visually, this version doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it does clean things up nicely. The color vibrancy is way better, especially in docked mode with HDR turned on. Water reflections, lighting, and Pokemon models have all been upgraded noticeably. Your party finally looks like they belong in 2025. Sadly, texture work in the overworld is still a weak point. Cliffs, walls, and ground assets reuse a lot of the same visuals, and the better resolution makes the repetition a bit more obvious. That said, areas like Artisan, where the windmill used to move like a PowerPoint slide, now runs at full frame rate. Also worth noting, the old Switch trick of lowering Pokemon model quality based on distance is gone. Even small Pokemon like Tandemaus show up clearly from far away, so no more missing those shinies. If it's happened to you, you know. If you know, you know, okay? Spawns and the world, let's talk about both of those. This one absolutely blew Cerebi away. Pokemon spawn density has been massively upgraded. On the original Nintendo Switch 2, you maybe see about 10 or 15 Pokemon spawn in a specific radius, but on Switch 2, that jumps to over 30 freaking Pokemon. Again, shiny hunters get freaking hype. What that means is the region now feels alive. You can actually watch Pokemon just living their lives, like a Poochyena sleeping in a grove, or groups moving in herds, before they even notice you. It feels immersive in a way that Scarlet and Violet never did before.